All right, I think I'm good. I think I have entered the live stream, and I should actually look at the camera, which is supposed to be my audience. So this is day 5 of Vlogtober, or sorry, day 9 of Vlogtober, and my name is Don. And every day of October, I do a live stream, and it's usually about a variety of things. And I'm kind of feeling indifferent today, so I guess I'm just going to talk about the lighting. I have a very small space that I'm lighting right now, and uh, I finally got a light behind me because you can see. Let's go back here. That's how close. That's how close the back is to me. This guy. Oops. I got to put that on there. So this is supposed to help with my audio, but it's just for texture because it really just breaks up the white wall. So I was able to put a little light over top to shine down, so that way I can be separated from the background, and I think it looks pretty good if you considering my space. I do have this light over here. I do have this light over here, which gives a little bit of color, and then I have my what am I thinking? My filtered light, diffused light that's in front of me. Um, it's a cozy little space. I like it. At least it works for this. I also updated my audio, and I won't say I updated it, but I figured out how to make it sound better finally, because one of the problems that I've had with audio is I think I was wanting to achieve too much and have too many things happening at the same time. So I originally was using a Mackie mixer to bring everything in, and I wasn't bringing it in using the well, I was going line in on the switcher, and I should not have done that. I should have just taken it out to the USB. I have the Mackie Pro FX 10 V3. Kind of a stupid name, but whatever. And it works great. Sadly, like I said, I pared things down quite a bit, so now I just have one mic. I got a little microphone arm for this, so I can push it out of the way when I'm doing other things. And hopefully it sounds good. I am using I can't remember the microphone. It's not Shure, because everybody sure gets Shure, but it's just a condenser mic. Highly recommend it, and I think under the proper conditions, it gives good results. And yeah, no, it's definitely upgraded. I also added, I I I had a Mackie. What is it? What is it? The Oxy interface, USB interface, and I am not using it right now, but I do have a wireless kit going into that, and then that's also going into OBS. And it sounds so much better than what I was trying to do before, because I was taking audio out of my video switcher and into the mixer and then back into OBS, and then telling it not to use this but to use that, and it it was a rabbit hole. And I expected much more than what it could perform, and I should have just kept things simple. Um, I know how to keep things simple because I did audio video for PSAV back in the day. And by the way, that company sucked when it was here in San Diego, and I ended up quitting because various reasons. But I, of course, ended up starting my own little production studio here in San Diego in Mission Valley. In case anybody's looking to hire me to live stream, I have great audio now. And 2 stations. The other station has great audio as well. I think I might mic that up. I keep wanting to use XLR over wireless. The wireless sounds fantastic. XLR a little bit more. And I always say I can pretend to be an audio guy, but sorry, they're kind of dorky. Not that I'm not dorky, but they kind of are. And so that station's finally put together. The little mini mixer that was there is out, and now it's just a another Mackie audio interface going into the computer through the USB, and it sounds fantastic. So no more audio problems until, of course, I decide to add something else to the mix. I am going out. I do have a mini PC over there that I'm taking audio out of and going into the OC M2 switcher. I don't like the way that audio follows video in the M2 switcher. So to bypass that, I just take the audio going straight out of the the mini PC, and then that goes into the switcher, which is what I use to take into the computer and OBS Studio. Let's see. I guess that's it. Like, comment, and subscribe. I mean, that's not it for the show. I just want to throw that in there because I'm always supposed to remember to say like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, it's Halloween. This is the month of October. When I was a kid, this was a very special month for the most part until we got to a certain age, and then my dad was a bit of a douche, so we didn't have too many Halloweens after a certain age, which is fine because you get to have it as you get older. Because in the 90s and 2000s, I was, I believed myself to be a goth kid, and I would dress up in black almost 365 days out of the year, and that all comes, I believe, from when I was growing up. And I'm originally from Indiana. And in Indiana, as a, how am I going to tell the story? So I was fat, kind of tall for my age, ginger, with acne. So I did not have a social life. And I turned to watching TV all the time. And growing up in Indiana, a place called Connorsville, we had UHF channels, and back in the day they would show anything and everything, and we had horror hosts like Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. She wasn't there. I barely remember her back in the mid 80s or the early 80s, but there was other people like Sammy Terry, and it was must watch. It was something that we would seek out, or I would seek out every week. And so I guess I just want to play the intro to Sammy Terry. I should have set this up for PNP, but I don't care. So let's go and let's get into this. Alright, I got PNP. Super source.
Unearthly glow. Arise, my love, with day-glow.
This was every Saturday night in Indiana. I can't remember. Channel 19, I think. I love it more now as an adult.
Good evening. Welcome to 2 maddening hours of horror and fright. I am Sammy Terry.
Fantastic. I miss this so much.
For behind every bush and tree, hiding in the haven-hued shadows, a fiendish maniac is waiting just for you. He'll pounce on you out of nowhere and with insane fury ravage you, while a twinkling star in the heavens appears to be coming closer and closer. It isn't a star, it isn't an airplane, no, it's not a comet or a meteor. It might be a UFO from outer space bent on destroying you. You run madly home, pursued by these treacherous demons of the imagination. And when you're safe inside, you're afraid to take a drink because a deadly virus may be in the water. So hide back in the farthest corner of the couch and turn on the TV. And after an evening's imaginative stroll with terror, it'll be nice to see something soothing to your nerves. Something like my tale of terror tonight.
Okay, that was fantastic. That was my Saturday nights. That's as a fat ginger with no social life, I would, Saturday was watching Sammy Terry, and I was a young kid, and he lasted me until I left Indiana. And even at one point during the Halloween season, he came into our small little town of Connorsville for a Halloween special, and my mother dropped us off, and we got to see him live on stage in the Connorsville Theater. And I barely remember the movie, but I know it was the anthology series, anthology show, and it would be nice to see it again because, I have fond memories of it, but I don't know what it was. So that was Halloween, and well, as a goth kid in the 90s and the early 2000s, every day was Halloween for the most part. So for the month of October and maybe for the rest of Vlogtober, I'm going to be doing some Halloween movie reviews, pretty much like everybody else. And maybe I was thinking about, because I just watched Stephen King's The Gunslinger, what is it? Was it The Black Tower? The Dark Tower. The Dark Tower. I remember back in the 90s reading the first book. I was in the Navy at the time, early 90s. I got the first book, and that was the only book for a long, long time. And I have fond memories of that. Sadly, the movie didn't turn out quite that good. It's better than what I remember, because I saw it in the theater when it came out a few years ago, but I remember nothing about it because it's the sin of that movie is it's very forgettable. There's really no... There's things that happen, but there's really nothing that sticks with your memory. And if you spend $100 million to make a movie, it should at least leave an impression, but sadly it doesn't. But I was thinking about going back and at least on any of the free, like Tubi or Pluto or things like that, and watching some horror movies, maybe Stephen King related, because there's so many crappy ones out there. I mean, good ones. So we'll see. I don't know. I will bring up more Sammy Terry, and there was also another one. I don't remember his name. I think it was Bob something. He was also a late night. There was Dr. Creep. And matter of fact, while we're sitting here, let's see if I can't find Dr. Creep, because he was one of my absolute favorite of the favorites. Let's see. Dr. Creep. And I think he was from Dayton, Ohio. Yep. Dr. Creep, Dayton, Ohio. Let's see if we have his Uh, I remember all this very, very well. I think we're going to look. Let's see. He did a R-A-N-K Frankenstein. And Dr. Creep runs for president. A message to. I know that there's an interview on here where he interviewed Frankenstein, and it was quite amazing, as most of Dr. Creep's stuff was. Hold on. Oops. Let's go back a little bit. Frank. Oh, cool. There's actually a new kind of lost animal episode. My goodness. I'm just trying to find a. Well, I don't want to play a lot. Oh, here's the opening. So let's go ahead and. After this, uh-oh.
The Honda HR-V. With impressive sporty style inside.
I'm going to have to learn how to cue this stuff up ahead of time, so that way it's not playing. So this is how I would spend my... I think Dr. Creep was on in the afternoons. Sammy Terry was at night, and Dr. Creep was at day. Shock Theater. And, yeah, no, that was the thing back then. At least for, a fat ginger in Indiana. Let's go ahead and get that out of there. And let's go back. Okay, that wasn't a great opening. I should have been more prepared for that, and next time I will. It's not like I don't have the ability to capture all this and then cue it up on command. It's just I'm kind of new at coordinating these live shows. So I have a whiteboard. I just need to write down exactly what I'm going to do and, download the clips and things that I need, such as Sammy Terry or Dr. Creep. And if you grew up in Indiana and, you're around the tri-state area of Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, yeah, you had a lot of UHF channels that had all. I even remember they would show Benny Hill, and I remember that was probably one of the first times that we saw. I'm gonna say it. We saw boobies on a regular basis, and of course I grew up in the '70s, so there was that whole genre of demonic possessions and the devil movies. So there was often some titties in that as well. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'm just going to do this. This is going to be a short one for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And we talked about my lighting, and we talked about my audio, and we talked about me being a fat ginger kid in Indiana growing up. And that's it. I'll talk to you tomorrow, or maybe I'll do another one today. We'll see how it goes. And leave a comment. Tell me how I'm doing. I expect to get better. I know I'm getting better. I'm not scripting any of this, and I am looking, just want to put this out there in case anybody actually makes it to the end of these things. I am looking for people to collaborate with. So on particularly something easy, movie reviews. I won't say they're easy, but movie reviews are good. if you like B movies like I do, bad movies, particularly 80s and 90s, before CGI took over. I mean, up until a certain point, it was all practical magic, and then once it went to computer generation, the life went out of low budget movies for the most part. They still have some every now and then, but you'll never get a Honey I Shrunk the Kids ever again. I mean, the first one is just amazing with Rick Moranis and the Welcome Back Carter chick. So I hope everybody enjoys, and I'm going to see how I get out, and I should probably have some outro music because I'm starting to get to a point where I can actually figure out, or know what I need, maybe a little intro music, outro music, and have all that stuff queued up. I'm using OBS. It's okay. I find that if I turn things on after it's open, I need to close out the program and bring it back up. So if anybody has any suggestions on OBS, I mean, there's enough tutorials out there, but alternatives, obviously for collaborating, I'm thinking about using EVMux, at least subscribing to that. So again, my name is Don. Welcome to Vlogtober, day 9, and I'll catch you all later.